the interception card to again. Can you take us through that play and what the ball was? The interception at the end of the card. Can you just take us through that play?
It was initially pressed. We trying to get Gardner's attention to look up, but he never looked back at me. The DB actually called it right out, and they basically doubled me on the play. So, nice question.
Is that one of those situations where it's just kind of you're not familiar with each other enough?
I don't think that's the case. I just think I just don't think he looked up. He saw one look and he just stayed with that look.
Early in this game, the offense really struggled to get going. I mean, from your perspective, were there reasons why specifically?
I have no answer to that either.
How frustrating is it now to realize you again missed the opportunity to clinch that season, and it's going to come down to the last week?
It's definitely frustrating. That was definitely a winnable game, and we didn't make enough plays to win the game.
Did it feel like the momentum had shifted though after your touchdown?
A little bit.
What kind of pressure does it put on next week now? I mean, for you guys?
Still no pressure. You got to go out and play ball. You got to go out and execute. So today was just unacceptable.
Is it difficult not to think about what would have been if Jalen was able to play these last two games?
Jalen's not on the field. I'm not thinking about what he would do or none of that. I'm focused on who's playing and trying to win the game with the people I'm playing with.
This is the first losing streak of the season. How do you guys kind of right the ship going into the postseason?
I think guys just got to come together. Guys got to see what they really want to do. Like it could be over.
You're relatively new to this team in your first year. Do you feel like it's part of your role to speak up and make sure that doesn't happen?
Of course, I can speak up. But it comes down to playing on the field. Talking does nothing. It's no need to be in here talking or this and that. You got to go out and play. You saw that record meant nothing. Everybody's in the field. They're good. Like you don't come out and execute, anybody will beat you. So.
I know you said Jalen wasn't on the field. Well, does a game like this show what he actually means to this team?
Once again, I'm not thinking about none of that. That game was very winnable with the players on the field. So.
What was the next message after?
I don't know. As you see, I'm frustrated.
This team just had a hard time getting started in the first half. Just talk about what it was that your offenses couldn't get unleashed in the first half.
We just played terrible. That's that. Didn't execute. Didn't go out there and do the things we were supposed to do. Had some penalties that set us back. We just played bad.
Now, it's obvious you guys still control all this. You win next week, you get the #1 seed and all that. But is there any special concern now, back-to-back losses for a team who's had a near-flawless season?
You got to find a way to stop the bleeding. Right now we're not playing our best ball, so we got to find a way to stop all the downpour and things like that. Find a way to get back on track.
How do you do that?
Just come in every day and get back to playing fundamental football, because right now we're not playing fundamental.
When the offense was sputtering so much in the first half, obviously there are a few different reasons, but what do you think the biggest one was?
We wasn't executing. Just going out there, making some mistakes that we don't usually make, just not going out there executing the game plan.
I know you came back, but you were all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
This isn't about Gardner or Jalen or anything, but how good will it be if Jalen's back in the lineup, having your guy back in next week against the Giants?
Well, right now, Jalen not in the lineup. We don't know if he's going to be there next week or not, so right now we just have to work what we got. Gardner's doing a great job. We just have to execute some things better on my part, just execution and things like that, communicating. But I can't tell you if Jalen playing or not. So right now, with Gardner.
This team went so far in this season without much adversity. Now you guys have lost a couple. What do you have to do as a team to make sure that you're able to rebound from that?
Like I say, find a way to stop the bleed.
You just got to find a way to win, get back to winning. The energy's still the same in the locker room. Nobody's panicking, coaches, players. Nobody's in just a super panic mode. Obviously, not the outcome we wanted today, but we get to play next week for a division, and I think that's what's most important right now.
Would you rather play next week and rest? I mean, truthfully.
No matter, I'd rather play every week just to stay in rhythm. But obviously, it's always coach's decision. Had we won today, but we didn't get that job done today. So obviously, we got a game plan for the Giants, a really good team that we played a couple weeks ago. So they'll be ready, we'll be ready, and we'll be playing for a real important game for us.
How much of a missed opportunity was today, then?
I mean, it was a missed opportunity. Just one of them deals where it didn't fall our way. We made some critical stops and we took too long to get in rhythm as a team. And we came out second half and we got the crowd back in it. We made some plays, but obviously ran out of time.
What changed in the second half defensively?
Nothing. We just everybody just kind of locked in. They kind of hit us with some things that they didn't show, but we finally got a beat on it and guys started flying around. Listen, they won the game. And that's the end of the day. We didn't win. We didn't get the job done. There's no excuse about it. It's really hard to win games in the NFL. So we didn't get it done. So we're looking forward to strapping up next week and going to play for division title.
I know the sacks aren't something you want to focus on today, but how about for Brandon finally passing that double-digit sack number? He's been searching for that his whole career.
I mean, it's so good for BG. I looked right in his eye, hugged him, and told him, congratulations, for him to do that, because we talk about it all the time. Obviously we're locker mates, and we always talk about just goals and things you want to get done, in your career and what's important. And we always tell him, it's just going to take time. And I couldn't really emotional for him, because I know how hard he's been working and how hard so many people counted him out. Even coming back, from that Achilles injury to have 11 sacks is really big for a guy that's in his 13th season.
I was going to say, even coming off that injury, is he the comeback player of the year?
Absolutely. He should have everybody in the league vote for comeback player of the year. I mean, the guy that responded to the adversity that he went through, and he just attacked everything that he did. He attacked the rehab. He attacked the training camp. He just attacked. He's still in the training room all the time, just attacking that and just getting better.
How difficult was it when Josh went down for you guys to have to keep playing after that?
It's always hard when a guy go down, especially when you see him go down at first and he don't move. So he first went down, he didn't move. It was really eye opening. And the first thing you asked him, "Are you okay?" and he responded. That was important. You see him move his feet, you see him move his hands, and you see him throw a thumbs up. So obviously he's probably feeling better right now. But at the time, I think the training staff did a really good job of making sure that, they kept him in place and just making sure nothing really was wrong with him. He was smiling, so he's in good spirit. And, I'm sure some of the guys, maybe a lot of guys probably going to go check on him and just see how he's doing.
In that moment, is it just kind of a relief to hear him be able to chat a little bit and before he leaves the field?
It's always good, It's always good to hear him chat and know that he's in good spirit. And, it's a big loss for us up front, But, again, BG stepped right in. For us, it's just never next man up. It's never the next man up. It's just, all right, BG, you got to go play, because that's our attitude, It don't matter who we put in the game, there's never a drop-off.
How tough was it just to not get in a rhythm out there?
Yeah, real tough. That was just bad football all around. Not all around, just offensively, in my opinion. You got to do better and can't win no games like that.
What do you think?
What was kind of keeping you guys from getting going in the first half? I mean, you had like the 4 straight 3-and-outs and all.
I don't know. I mean, they did a good job of controlling the rock on their side of the ball offensively. I believe we only had like 2 drives in the first half, and it's tough. It's tough, and they were successful running the ball and keeping the ball out of our hands, and we just put us in a bad spot each and every time. So
is this the kind of game you just want to flush and get on to the next one?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're trying to flush it. Yeah, all we need is one more game to solidify everything. But this one's gonna be tough. We didn't deserve to win today. I ain't gonna lie. So
you look at it more like what they were able to do to you guys defensively, or is it more what you were unable to?
It was honestly nothing that they did special. It's all us self-inflicted wounds, pre-snap penalties, and not executing a lot of stuff. So
how do you view that stuff? Is that good or bad when you're trying to correct it?
It's all lessons. I don't think nothing's negative. I mean, we need games like this. I mean, especially right before the playoffs. It's cool. It's cool. It's not good to have games like this, but it's a lesson to have games like this and just learn from it. Honestly, take it one day at a time now.
Is it hard not to think about what the last few games would have been like if Jalen was out there?
Can't think like that because it's next man up mentality. So that's all I gotta say. And we got all confidence in Tim, so it's nothing like that. But it was just a hard game, and like we beat ourselves offensively. That's all I can say. Talk about it offensively. We beat ourselves.
There were long stretches where you didn't touch the ball. Is it difficult for you to get into a good flow when that's the case?
No, nothing really as far as me not getting the ball. Literally just self-inflicted wounds. In my opinion, you just got to clean that stuff up before it gets real.
The knee feel all right?
Yeah. Does it look all right? I don't know, but yeah, it felt good. It didn't really hold me back for nothing, but it felt good.
Is it strange with the brace? Strange with the brace?
No, a little bit. It's a little different playing with it, but I got comfortable.
You've never played one before, have you?
No, first time.
You know, that interception, like in the fourth quarter, like what was kind of going on in that play? Like, what did you see?
I honestly don't know what happened. Honestly, I didn't see it. What happened? I didn't see the replay either. So all we can do is go back to the film room and get back to work and take it literally one day at a time and try to be 1-0 this week.
What are you feeling right now?
Disappointed, pissed off. I don't know. You take a pick.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Said disappointed, pissed off. You guys pick.
What happened on all the false starts? Was there a common theme, or was it just a collection of things?
Collection, guys not being locked in, being a little bit thrown off. Obviously, haven't had a lot of reps with Gardner, but professionals, we should be able to handle that. So yeah, very upsetting.
What do you think were some of the biggest differences, being able to move the ball last week to not being able to this week?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody. I think I had a lot of MAs today, which is frustrating, especially with a new guy coming in, a quarterback. I'm a constant piece. It's kind of my job to make sure everybody's on the same page, and I was completely on that today. So, watch the tape and get things fixed. Yeah.
And yet at the same time, one win and you clinch. Is it hard to feel that positive?
I'm not even focused on that right now. I could give two about clinching a first place seed right now. We got to get a lot of things fixed. I got to get a lot of things fixed. So that's what I'm focused on. We'll make some corrections from today, obviously, and move on to New York.
We saw in the first two losses there were 4 turnovers in each of those games, so it felt like you guys were more self-inflicted wounds. Obviously, there was a bad pick 6 early, but do you feel like the Saints did more to cause you guys not to execute on offense? Or
You always got to give a defense credit when they shut you out like that. I don't want to take away from the performance they had, but I think that we had multiple things that we didn't do well today, and it starts with me. It was not good communication on my end. It was not good. Multiple MAs, physically fine, and I think I'll be interested to see what the tape looks like. I think physically most guys played all right. It was more just gross errors, penalties, things like that absolutely destroyed us today, and that starts with me.
You guys haven't really faced a whole bunch of adversity until these last 2 games and everything. What do you see from the way the guys are reacting to these 2 losses as far as you guys bouncing back and everything?
I don't know. I think everybody came back and worked. It wasn't like we were taking the week off. I felt like we had a good week of practice. Put a lot of time into being prepared for the game, and just didn't pan out offensively.
Jason, how would you assess the mood of the team? Angry, disappointed? Pick one.
You can pick, Sal. All the above. It's angry and disappointed are 2 good ones. I think angry that we had a great opportunity today and we didn't play our best ball. I didn't play my best ball, and disappointed in the outcome for sure.
How do you prevent this team? Sorry, sir. How do you prevent this team from getting too far down this week and coming back quickly from a psyche standpoint?
Well, obviously very upset right now, but I think again a lot of these things are self-inflicted. A lot of these things are penalties and MAs and just not being on the same page. And I think that those are all correctable things. So from an optimistic standpoint, all we got to do is fix, the things that are very fixable, especially for myself. So I think, we'll go back, we'll watch the tape, make the corrections, and move on to New York. We've overcome games like this year, so I don't anticipate, this derailing anything. Look forward to actually getting back out on the field, to tell you the truth.
You said a lot to fix. What's highest on that list?
For me, I'm not going to speak for the team. I think for me, I want to fix the communication, the MAs, making sure the guys are on the same page. Being a guy that makes others play better and sets the play up properly. And that's my job as a veteran. That's my job as a center. So that's what I'm focused on.
Any idea why those things crept up today?
I mean, if I knew right now, I'd be able to. Hopefully, I would have been able to avoid that. No, you're gonna have bad days. Unfortunately, this was a bad day. I thought put a lot of time in. It just kind of felt like one thing after the other. Obviously, I'm not going to make any type of excuse. Just going to go at it, go back to work, like I always do, and make sure we're ready for the next opportunity.
Hey, Bill, from your at times struggled to stop the run this year. Were any regrets in how often you guys were throwing the ball early, or was that the script going in?
I don't know. I think it didn't really seem like much was working, so I'd be. I'm never going to criticize a play caller or anything in terms of we should have done this or that, because we were doing a pretty good job of screwing up everything there in the first half. So we put ourselves in some bad situations, regardless what was called. So I think that for me, I think we just need to focus on all this stuff works if you execute it properly and you put guys in the right situation, and you don't get unnecessary penalties, and you stay ahead of the chains and all of these things. I think that is by far, in a way, the bigger thing that killed the offense today.
I know from your vantage point, you don't see the sneak take plays, but is there any sense why that one didn't work when it's been so?
I'll have to go watch it. I thought that we got low. And, I was waiting for the surge to happen and just didn't. Kudos to them. I thought on the TV it looked like they did a good job with their backers of pushing the D tackles and getting right up on them. So they were whatever. They got it. You're not going to get all of them. They got a lot of them. That one was a huge one, and unfortunately they stopped us.
When you lose like that, you have a lot of people, as you mentioned, contribute to it, and you don't want to obviously place too much blame on Gardner. But when you step back, can you say Jalen Hurts is going to come back and correct everything?
Yeah, I think Jalen is obviously a special player. I thought Gardner played good enough to win today.
Yep.
If everybody else executes and plays up to the level they've been playing at all year, myself included. So, I think obviously a new quarterback, there's familiarity and things like that, but I thought Gardner played fine.
Such a tough spot for any backup, but in Gardner's case, to step in for a guy that's been playing at an MVP level. I mean, as a center, do you say anything to a guy like that when he's obviously struggling?
The only thing I said to Gardner after the game was sorry that that I didn't get it done for you. Sorry that I had so many mistakes. I really do not think at all about where Gardner was at throughout the game, and I actually thought he had some things to put us in good situations. I think we just did not execute up front. I didn't put us in the right call enough times, so I think that's on me.